Hello, good morning, and welcome to this date in history, also known as TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things that we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the Smart Device application, Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to the sources, music, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar in the description below. Anyway, I am A.O. Xander, and I am joined by...
Meet Cleaver.
And today is Sun's Day, also known as Sunday, September 11th, 2022. And with that topic set up right there, the Meat Cleaver requested something really awesome, and I go for it. So say what you want.
I just want to have a moment of silence for everybody that perished in 9/11.
All right, let's have a moment of silence. I'm going to put on my America hat here. Okay, you ready?
Ready.
All right. In the memory of all those who have fallen and who are still around with us, for those who have watched it with us, those who are around, those who, to them, just like me and like my dad, this is not history. I mean, this is history. It's not just something in a book. It's something we lived. So,
it's real.
In honor of all that, let's have a moment of silence.
For the heroes.
For the heroes.
Okay.
All right.
Let's rock and roll.
All right. Welcome to the show, Sohan. You popped in right at the end of our moment of silence for the fallen and the still around, those who, as I said, remember it more than just in a book, but who were around at a decent age to have remembrance, about it.
Real life.
September 11th. Yeah, I was second year, freshman year in high school. Right into the gate.
Yep.
So, yeah. Anyway, Mr. Sohan, if you would care to start us off in year 9.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, God.
Well, the other day we started at like 3,000 some odd something BC.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Year 9. The Battle of Chiltenberg Force ends after 4 days with a dramatic alliance defeating Roman forces and putting an end to expansion of the empire east of the Rhine.
Huh. Well, that's
Battle of Teutoburg.
Teutoburg, yeah. So 4 days, and that's the Germanic alliance, fighting Rome and everything.
Yeah.
Like Rome, like they had a lot of issues and such. Later on, with the Celts, the Gauls.
Well, when you're conquering the world, you have a lot of issues.
Yeah, that is true. Anyway, I'm just checking to see if there's anything interesting. Like, I think we should stick. We should really start sticking to the highlighted ones. Really.
Well, if you catch something of interest, good to
Yeah.
catch.
1213, Chinese General Qin Shi assassinates Emperor Wei Xiaowang, former Prince of Wei, in Peking, and proclaims himself regent.
So that's a assassination and a coup d'état right there.
Yeah.
Like, would that be a coup d'état? That's not really a military thing.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
not a coup d'etat if you're assassinating the emperor.
And taking his place.
Well, and whoever they want to take his place. It may not be the person taking the place. Sounds like a coup to me.
Yeah, well, it sounds like a personal coup. Because, not only is he assassin, but he's the
Well, the coup's
the
bloodless
usurper.
or non-bloodless coup. This is a bloodless
blood coup.
Yeah, it's attack from within is a coup.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
And 1229, Ordell, son of Genghis Khan, is elected the Mongolian Khan, succeeding Genghis after his father's death, or September 13th.
All right, so this either
Passed on
happened
through the family, huh?
Yeah, this has either happened on this date or 2 days from now, on September 13th. So But one of these dates, we haven't really, like, not to a pinpoint, but we're narrowing it down, like, not all history is perfect,
Especially when you get back into
Yeah.
not so well recorded times.
Well, that's like 800 some odd years ago,
Yeah.
Well, not even 800 years, but still, that's a while ago.
Almost 800.
Yeah. All right. Oh, here we go. You there, Sohan?
Yeah, I did 3.
What? Oh, you did 3?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you did. 1297, battle at Stirling Bridge. Scottish rebel William Wallace defeated the English. Freedom! Yeah, the way that guy went out, though, was just brutal, unnecessary, and just, honestly, just barbaric. It was absolutely barbaric what the English did to him. They starved him, tortured him, beat him. Eventually, they drew and quartered him. You know what that means?
What?
That means that they tied each of his individual hands and legs to a different horse, and then had him go off and
Yeah. Is that what that means?
Drawing and quartering, literally ripping you in half, quartering.
Yeah, I know what they did. I didn't realize that's what it was called.
Yeah, drawing and quartering.
Ah,
Yeah. So
I'll remember that. They tie me up to a couple horses.
You draw.
I know what this is.
You draw them, with the thing, so you're drawing them,
Yeah, yeah.
and then you quarter them. So make them into quarter chunks of people. Fucking brutal. So, let's see here. 1503, Michelangelo began sculpting the 12 apostles for the Cathedral of Florence. Over life-size marble statues, of which only one was partially finished, that of St. Matthew.
So that's when he began. Okay.
Yeah, so this is when he began. Huh.
Wonder when he ended.
Well, I think,
It took a
it
long
says
time, I
only
know that.
one was partially finished, that of St. Matthew. So does that mean that only one was even, on its way to being done? Or were they all done and only one was almost done?
Well, only one was almost done. How much he did of the other two, I don't know if he was doing it all
12
at once
apostles.
or doing portions and coming back, and who knows?
Well, this was the sculpting of the 12 apostles.
Right.
And it says, over life-size marble statues, of which only one was partially finished.
Right.
That is, so I'm wondering, does that mean that he only got down to one? As in, only one out of the 12? So the
I think
other
he did
11?
12 and forgot about the 13th apostle.
Say again?
I think he did 12 and forgot about the 13th apostle.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
think it's all one unit.
If you get
Yeah.
the reference.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Dogma.
I don't really get the reference. I
Is
don't
it
really
Dogma?
know. I don't know much about Christianity and stuff.
No. It's a movie, Dogma.
Oh, no, never saw it.
Oh, you missing out then.
I know. Well, you're missing out, dude. This guy never saw Animal House. Can you believe that? That's almost like a sin right there, dude.
Sacrilegious, huh?
Yeah. Well, in 1649, a massacre of Drogheda in Ireland, Oliver Cromwell killed 30,000 royalists. Wow.
30,000.
Three.
Oh, 3,000.
Killed
It's too blurry for
3,000.
me to read.
Yeah, killed 3,000. Well, 30,000 would be even crazier, but
Yeah.
no, 3,000 royalists. You know,
Yeah.
so people loyal to the throne and everything. Oh, you support the king, you're dead.
Yeah.
Dang, man.
Brutal.
Yeah. Well, that's my 3, Mr. Sohan.
1708, Great Northern War. Charles XII of Sweden stops his march to conquer Moscow outside Bolmensky, making the turning point in the war.
The turning point in the Great Northern War.
I've never heard of that war.
There's always war in Europe. Like the Great
Yeah.
Northern War, that's Sweden, so that's in Northern Europe.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. But against Russia? Huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Europe definitely has a warring mentality in its history.
Well,
doesn't it?
everybody does.
Everybody does. True.
Like Japan had the great.
Like Genghis
you know,
Khan we just were talking about.
Yeah, the Mongols invading everything.
Yeah.
Like they got all the way out in the Middle East. You know
Yeah,
that?
I know.
Like,
I do know.
Crazy. So, well, this is an
17
interesting quote.
I'll continue. 1773, Benjamin Franklin writes, there never was a good war or bad peace.
That's an interesting quote.
Yeah.
There never was a good war or bad peace. So, Yeah.
Benjamin Franklin's so important to our history.
Yeah.
Without becoming a political president or didn't become actively within the system.
Well, no, he was actually the president of Philadelphia.
Of Philadelphia,
yeah.
Not the United States.
Well, true, but like not all the founding fathers were the presidents of the United States either.
Of course
I mean, like, we have George Washington, Thomas Jefferson,
Most of them weren't.
like,
but
like,
he was really a mover and shaker.
However, yeah, I mean, like, he's the only non-president on our currency to be on, anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny because I've had this conversation actually recently with a European. He's like, "Oh, Benjamin Franklin wasn't a president." I'm like, "No, dude. Like, everybody else was." I mean, it's just like, why? It's like because he was so integral to everything. I mean, dude, the guy discovered, like that lightning is electricity and can be utilized.
Yeah.
Like not only was he like a founding father and all this stuff, but he was a great diplomat.
Oh, moving forward, printing and everything like that.
Yeah, printing. Like like all over the board, man. And he was also like a womanizer, apparently. I don't know, but and he was overindulgent. But
apparently, he did a lot of stuff when he was in France for a year or whatever.
Yeah. He got a little froggy.
Froggy.
Yeah.
Also, 1777, Battle of Brandywine, Pennsylvania. Americans lose to the British. Polish soldiers. Kashmir Pulaski saves life of George Washington.
Dang. So yeah, that's
saves the life of George Washington.
That's a close call right there.
Yeah, that's a pretty amazing line right there. Save the life.
Yeah.
Of George Washington.
Polish.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't joke about them as much. Give them some respect. Yeah. You have one more too, right? 1786. That looks interesting.
Yep, 1786, Annapolis Convention to determine interstate commerce.
So that's interesting. If it's what I think it is, like, let's see here. Annapolis Convention. Let's see here. It's not telling me anything right off that bat. The formerly titled National Political Convention, yada yada, in which 12 delegates from 5 U.S. states, specifically New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Virginia, gathered to discuss and develop a consensus on reversing the protectionist trade barriers that each state had erected. At the time, under the Articles of Confederation, each state was largely independent from the others, and the national government had no authority to regulate trade between and among states. New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and North Carolina had appointed commissioners who failed to arrive in Annapolis in time to attend the meeting, and Connecticut, Maryland, South Carolina, and Georgia had taken no action at all. The convention also related to George Washington's plans related to the waterways connecting the Potomac and the Ohio River. So it was basically like, the federal government's seizing power, but like in a good way, to regulate. That's what the federal, was like the states, they can do things, but all they want. But at some point, something needs to give to allow everybody to coexist with each other. Give and take. It's a relationship now on a state level. Like a husband and wife, like a boyfriend girlfriend, like a brother and sister. It's a relationship, like a friend and a friend. Like you gotta work together. You can't exist if you're like too rigid with each other.
Yeah.
And that's what the federal government essentially is a form of checks and balances. We've talked about this before.
Well, unfortunately, it's not what it is today.
Well, it's now become a dictatorship, unfortunately. But
when we finally won our independence from England, and I'm sure you know this, there was a huge fight in Congress over going back to totally independent colonies, or connecting it with the federal government as an umbrella for protection.
Yeah, I actually spoke about this yesterday during yesterday's show. During that 10 period, that 10-year period, like from 1776 to 1786 or something, we didn't just become the United States overnight. It took that 10 years, and it was all like a bunch of debate and everything. And then so when you ask about who's the first president of the United States, it's George Washington. Well, who's the first president of America? Well, depending on what year you're in, there were 5 different people. because, like, we tried this way, and then we're like, nah, we don't like this, let's try something else. Okay, so then that record is off the board because that country no longer exists. It's a failed attempt during those 10 years of constant debate back and forth, and a very high chance that as you said, we would go back to individual city-states or like little states.
Yeah, no. It was an even split. No, I don't know how even, but back and forth trying to win a majority to be either one country with independent states or being totally 13 colonies being totally independent. And the independents were actually right. Their fear was we would be where we are today, too powerful federal government.
Yep.
However, the other side was also right that it makes us a great nation. We haven't just followed the purity of the Constitution is the problem.
Yeah.
Leaving the multi-powers in the states with the protection in the multi-government.
But see, this is precisely why.
Government.
This is precisely why our country is called the United States of America.
Correct.
Because we are states. We are united. We are American. We are on the American continent, named after Amerigo Vespucci. But we are the United States of America. That's why we're not like a random country name like Germany or Bosnia or whatever. They're individual like states.
Countries.
Sovereign states, countries. Like stuff like that. Like a sovereign state is a country.
Yeah.
So, like the state, the United States of America is a state made up of states.
Yes.
Essentially.
Yes.
Because
anybody in America would be Canada of America, Mexico of America, Brazil of America.
Yeah.
They're all of America.
Yeah, exactly.
We just put it in the name.
We are the United States.
Right.
I
wish people would listen to our name more and give the power back to the states.
Yep.
Where it belongs.
Well, this is why the current accepted idiom of calling us America drives me crazy. It's like we're part of America, but we are not America.
Centralized power creates graft, independent corruption is what I'm trying to say. Centralized power corrupts.
Yep. Anyway, Mr. Sohan, you want to take 1789 here?
Yeah. 1789, Alexander Hamilton appointed first Secretary of the U.S. Treasury.
Right then and there, boom. So, Treasury, the state funds, that's one of the first things you do when you're making a country. When you're doing anything, when you're starting a business, So 1789, 1776 to 1789. Why did it take so long? Because of all the back and forth we just talked about.
We had to form exactly what the country was
exactly
going to look like.
Yeah.
If there was going to be a one
country. 92 is good too.
In 1792, the French blue gem, later the Hope Diamond, here we go, was stolen with other French crown jewels from Royal Storehouse in Paris during Reign of Terror. I remember talking about the Reign of Terror the other day. So, but dang, yeah, the Hope Diamond. Now it's in, it's really funny. Like, I think about it because now the Hope Diamond, because we've seen it, it's in the Smithsonian.
Yeah.
We actually saw it when we went did our little, Eastern trip.
Yeah.
Really. And I'm just thinking, hasn't this country just gone down the shithole ever since acquiring that? Like, whoever owns the Hope Diamond gets all this bad luck. Well, our country owns it, and just look at everything's going on. Maybe there's a connection here. Maybe it really is.
That's a stretch.
It cursed everybody any person who actually owned it. We're
still better off than most as far as country to country.
Not the way we're heading right now.
Well, heading is one thing.
Yeah.
But where we're at is another.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on up into 1847, the first singing of Stephen Foster's "Oh, Susanna" in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Oh, look at that.
Oh, Susanna. 1947.
I don't really remember the lyrics, but "Oh, Susanna."
Yeah.
Don't cry for me or something.
Yeah. Oh, Susanna, don't cry for me. I'll come around the mountain. No, that's another
no,
one.
Coming around the mountain is something else.
Yeah.
Anyway. And then
we know Oh Susanna. That's at least something.
Oh Susanna.
75 years ago.
Oh,
are you kidding me? We know at least the title. No. We recognize it.
Well, let me just see. Oh Susanna lyrics. Song of America. Oh, okay, well it's not.
Yeah, go on. We don't care.
Yeah. Okay, well this is just telling you the history of it. No, that's not the lyrics.
That wasn't the lyrics?
No. I came from Alabama with a banjo on my knee.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. I don't know how to sing it though.
No.
I don't know the tempo. Anyway, Sohan, it's your turn if you want. 1850.
1850, opera singer Jerry Lund, the Swedish Nightingale, gives first U.S. concert at Castle Garden in New York City, promoted by P.T. Barnum.
P.T. Barnum, circus guy, and like
there's a sucker born every minute.
Yeah,
that was
and
his line.
Yeah, and he actually did say that. And it's just like like. I don't know why we idolize P.T. Barnum. Like he was a fucking asshole. Like like he like.
Tell us what you really think of him.
Well, I mean, like I don't think he's as bad as Edison.
I knew you were going to Edison. How did I know that?
I hate Edison. I hate that piece of shit.
I've heard that before.
Oh my god, he murdered things. He murdered
Man, I knew
animals.
you were going to Edison. That's horrible.
Edison. Well, yeah, he's a piece of shit. No. And so I think Soen agrees.
Yeah. Wow, you hate Edison the same way I hate Yoko Ono.
Why do you hate Yoko?
That bitch killed the Beatles.
Yeah, exactly right. There you go. Very perceptive.
And her singing's just got awful.
Wouldn't you know it's a woman that screws them up? There, I've been jammed now. I'm gonna get.
Weren't we just talking about like making our videos approachable? You're killing me.
I'm gonna get daggers all weekend.
Like seriously, we were just having a
I know, but
conversation
you just can't help yourself sometimes.
I know.
You know that better than me.
Yeah, Alice. Well, I know Alice.
Old loose tongue.
My tongue is as loose as.
Okay, get me out of this. Move on.
Yeah.
I just loved your deadpan look. What did you just say?
We were just talking about making it more commercial. Oh my god. We're never going to turn this into God. This is why I'm saying, like, like our most likely chance is to go completely on donations once we get to the fan base.
Whatever you do, go on.
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead, so
1885, Ambrose Bierce finishes as editor of the Wasp magazine.
Ah. I was going to say, I was looking at 1853 here. That looks interesting.
Okay. 1853, the first electric telegraph used. Merchants exchanged San Francisco to Port Lobos, California.
Yeah. First electric telegraph. That's pretty cool.
It is.
What
year was that again?
1853.
1853.
Yeah, wired communication.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Sohan?
I'm guessing PT meant port.
I guess so. Like, I would say, yeah.
So I said Port Lobos.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Let's look it up real quick just to see. Google. There we go. Point Lobos.
Okay, Point Lobos.
Point Lobos. Well, it's a state natural reserve now, but it's a state park in Monterey County. So, probably like trade and everything.
Now, the PT thing, here's something totally off subject. Mind your P's and Q's, everybody's heard that. Mm-hmm. That comes from an English term when the Navy guys were going to go out drinking beers, mind your pints and quarts.
Yep.
So, there you go.
They don't need
a little bit of worthless information.
Well, it's worthwhile information. It's a little nifty things like that,
Yeah.
Like,
ooh. 1883, American architect James Cutler patents postal mail chute for Elwood Building in Rochester, New York.
Postal mail chute. What is that? Like, is that the mailbox? Like,
getting the mail chutes in buildings.
Oh, okay, yeah. So just a thing. Okay, that's interesting.
Mail tubes.
Different.
Yeah.
So that means like a mailbox that slides in? Is that what you're saying?
No, the thing, the thing where, like in the walls, you pull out the thing and you put it, like the tape returns in Blockbuster.
Yeah.
So
mail chutes. Yeah, I got it.
That's a reference from another age right there.
Oh, you're not kidding.
Yeah. But I was also looking at 1857 and 1877. Although I could take those if you want, because you have done 3, but you're welcome to take them.
1877, right?
1857, 57 and 77.
Mountain Meadows Massacre. Mormons dressed as Indians murder 120 colonists in Utah. Damn it, Rodney.
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought
Dressed
y'all
as
were supposed to be
Indians?
the good ones.
Yeah, no, people got to realize that Mormons are hateful, violent people. Like, their entire religion is based off of bigotry. They believe that Jesus Christ came to the Americas, and this is actually what's said on the golden disc that John Smith, or whatever his name was, Joseph Smith read in the hat and all that stuff. This is what he read, out to the person to transcribe. Jesus Christ, while he was alive, came to the Americas. And the natives denied him as God, so as punishment, God changed their skin red. That's honestly what they believe. And then right here, after being subjugated themselves, quite called for, in my opinion, with this thing, what I just said, because the Mormon Trail, they had to all, migrate all the way to Utah to find land. Then they dress as Native Americans and then murder people coming into their land.
Tried to blame the Indians.
Yep.
Well,
that's
a
horrifying?
horrid history right there that we're reading, but I'm not going to condemn the entire religion today.
Well, they won't do that today, but that's part of their history.
Your hateful part of the statement, all that, I'm not buying it. Sorry.
It is.
I understand you believe that. I'm just not buying into it.
All right. Well, yeah.
Okay,
anyway,
77 or something you're talking about?
I'm going to take 1877, unless you want to pronounce this.
No, man, have fun.
Okay.
Have fun.
1877, Rijksland Bouwhugi School opened in Wageningen.
Now that is fun.
Yeah.
You slaughtered that.
Yeah.
I couldn't do better, but you slaughtered it. Okay.
And moving on up into just, Sohan already read this. Yeah. The Wasp magazine thing.
Yeah.
So I'm just doing a quick scan here. Let's see. 1893, the first conference of the World Parliament of Religions was held in Chicago. Indian monk Swami Vivekananda gave influential speech. Well, that's pretty cool.
I wonder what he influenced.
Well, Indian monk. So, probably something involving Hinduism or
just
Buddhism.
As influential speech, but if you're influencing somebody, it's kind of, okay, what did you influence?
Swami. A Swanee, you know what a Swami is?
Yeah, I know what a Swami is.
Swanee.
Swanee River. There's a Swami and Swanee.
Well, no,
M and N.
No, the religious version.
Swami.
Yeah. This is Swami Vivekananda, an Indian Hindu monk. There we go, philosopher and author. So Hinduism.
Yeah.
He gave influential speech involving Hinduism, I believe.
Okay. Yep.
So, and then 1893 as well. Shaku Soen. Hey, Soen. It's the first Zen teacher to visit the West. Specifically went to Chicago.
Were you around in 1893?
Soen's immortal.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So I've heard.
Yeah. And then I believe it's now your turn in 1897 here, Mr. Soen.
1897, after months of pursuit, generals of Menelik II of Ethiopia captures Akisharocho, the last king of Kaffa, bringing an end to that ancient kingdom.
On your behalf, I gotta look a note on that hat.
Yeah, that's an interesting hat.
Can't let that go by.
No, it looks
For
like...
you.
Yeah. I mean, it looks cool and all. I don't know.
Okay. Moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah, moving on to 1900s. President of Transvaal, Paul Kruger, crosses the border into Mozambique.
A really interesting beard.
Wonder why that's of significance. He crossed the border into Mozambique. Were they warring or something?
Across the border into Mozambique. Third president of the South African Republic.
It's pretty new if he's only the third.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is all the way back in 1900.
I understand.
So, well, let's see here. Let me look that up.
I mean, did they move across the border as an army, or did he go visit?
Paul Kruger. Oh, he wept as the train crossed into Mozambique. Oh, he left the Transvaal by rail, so I think, I don't know. It's just saying, I don't know. I'm not going to do some extensive research on this, but I'm going to, for anybody actually interested...
Just an odd little event is all I'm looking at.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like some kind of political thing. He was one of the dominant political and military figures in 19th century South Africa president of the South African Republic or Transvaal from 1883 to 1900. And so when was this? This was what, 1900?
1900.
This was 1900.
Yeah.
So I guess this is the end of his term
Ah.
or something, like, or maybe he got deposed.
Don't know.
You know. So no, like this was, so he was no longer president, so he was no longer in control. So I guess he got deposed or his term ended or something. I don't know.
No clue. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It's
it's
one of
easy
those
to
little
figure
things.
out if we just sit here and read this, but
Yeah,
we don't have that
don't
kind
want
of time. So, anyway, 1903 looks interesting, so and if you want that.
1903, the first race at Milwaukee Mile in West Allis, Wisconsin is held. Oldest major speedway in the world.
Yeah.
Ah.
So it's not the oldest one in history, but it's the oldest one currently still in operation. This is when they had their first race in 1903.
Wow.
So that's pretty old
Yeah.
for a speedway. That's
Yeah.
118 years.
Well, there weren't that many
119.
combustible engines around, so
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could have, like, didn't they have, like, horse racing and everything?
I'm sure they did.
Like, it could have been like an old horse racing thing and converted.
Could have
Although
been.
a mile track is pretty long, or, like, because the horse racing tracks are pretty big, but they're not big as NASCAR
Well, a
tracks.
quarter
right?
horse is racing a quarter mile. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
That's short.
Okay. All right. Well, that answers my question.
Yep. In 1906, Mahatma Gandhi coins the term Satyagraha to characterize the non-violence movement in South Africa.
Oh,
Okay.
that's cool. Let me look that up to see if it has, like, a deeper meaning than just that. Satyagraha, it has a whole wiki here. Let's see here. Let me just read
So it's
that.
a term he coined. Okay.
It also means holding firmly to truth or truth force is a particular form of non-violent resistance or civil resistance. Someone who practices satyagraha is a satyagrahi.
Okay. That's
Okay.
kind of cool if he coined that. Yeah.
Well, that sounds a lot like how I hold myself, Like, I hold myself to truth, I honor
Yeah.
my word,
Yeah.
if
So
and
you're
when I can.
whatever that is, Sarah. Not even putting an R in there. I'm not even starting off right.
I'm a satyagrahi. Satyagrahi. I'm a satyagrahi. I am a satyagrahi. All right. I didn't even realize
Someone
that.
phone in and text him and tell him how to pronounce it.
Yes, please.
All right.
Go ahead, Sohan.
Okay. 1912. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, hold on a second. Well, 1909 is interesting. 1910.
1909, German astronomer Max Wolf rediscovers Halley's Comet.
Yeah, that's interesting. Rediscovers.
Yeah.
So that makes you
How do
wonder,
you
like,
rediscover something? It's been discovered. It's discovered.
yeah,
Huh.
I don't know.
It's kind of two things against itself.
Yeah, well, that makes me think, like, did they think it, like, flew away, that it was no longer, like, because Haley, discovered it,
Yeah.
and then, but maybe they didn't realize, it was, like, because that was the first time you saw it, so we don't know it was coming back.
Yeah.
So maybe he discovered it, like, oh, hey, cool, a comet, and then later on it's
Hey,
coming
that's
back.
Halley's Comet.
Like, hey, isn't that the same comet that that guy from, like, a couple hundred years ago saw?
Well, maybe they discovered that it is coming back. That's probably
Yeah.
the point.
Yeah.
That it rotates around and comes back. Okay.
I'm going to take us into 1910. The first commercially successful electric bus line opened in, no doubt, Hollywood of all places.
Yeah.
Like, with how things are today, that's pretty
Yeah.
fitting,
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Well, I
No,
would have
it's
expected it to be San Francisco, but they had their
1910, they're doing an
trams.
electric bus. That's
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Actually, like, didn't you tell me about this? And I already knew this, but like back in the old days, like, there was a huge competition between electric and gasoline-powered vehicles. There was a big market, and it was a real big thing. And then Big Oil eventually just got the upper hand, and just demolished them, like, just outproduced, like, out-commercialed, made them look bad and unreliable and everything, and
Yeah, there was. But I remember as a kid going up to Canada. It wasn't so much down here in the South. We didn't do it, but they had electric buses, and what there was overhead was all electric wires, and they had a big bar that went up and hooked them into the
So
electricity.
it was like a trolley, but it
Yeah,
was a bus.
But it was a bus.
Yeah,
And it went all over town on electricity.
I think they have those in.
Probably still have them today. Somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think they have those in pardon my yawning. Where was it that I went to try this? Portland, Oregon, or something.
Still have them today?
Maybe, I don't know.
Surprised.
Well, I know that they have light rail, throughout the city.
Okay.
Because there's normal rail, which is Amtrak, and moving stuff, and then there's light rail, which is like, specifically for intercity, travel and transportation.
Well, was it on run by electricity?
I think it had like the wire thing.
So it did have the wire thing. So
yeah,
okay, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It has the pole going up to it and connecting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. In 2012, in 1912, sorry, 100 years too far. 1912, Philadelphia's second baseman Eddie Collins stole MLB record 6 bases in the Athletics' 9-7 win over Detroit Tigers at Navin Field.
1912, the year my dad was born.
Oh, dang. Dude, look at those ears,
Long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah. That hat is cool, though.
Yeah.
And then let's see here. 1914. Australia invades New Britain, defeating a German contingent there. So that's during the First World War, but let me look this up, because this is interesting. Where is New Britain? Let's see here. The Battle of Bidapaka took place on the island of New Britain. This battle with German reservists and Melanesian police was the first Australian action of the First World War. This battle also saw the first Australian fatal casualties of the First World War.
So it's got to be New Britain's got to be an island somewhere near Australia, right?
I'm trying to find where this is. I'm trying to find a bigger map. Come on. Where is New Britain map? Let's search for that. Okay, there we go.
There it is.
Where is that? Where is that? West New Britain province. Oh, here we go. Okay, it looks like it's up in Indonesia. So it's
So it's not that close.
Well, no, or I don't know where Indonesia is. Like it's in
it's right up there.
South Pacific.
It's above it. It's north.
Yeah, it's
obviously
north.
Everything's north of Australia.
Indonesia's under Vietnam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
That's why they went down. Americans went down to Australia for R&R because it was close.
Okay, here's a better picture. Well, why am I getting such blurry, crappy pictures?
That's good. No, I think you got it. Okay.
All right. Anyway, moving on up into actually, Soen, why don't you take 1914?
T14, W.C. Handy, father of the blues, published his most famous composition, St. Louis Blues.
I'm looking at these things here. 1922, the blue one, the first one, might be something interesting right there.
1922, Australian newspaper The Sun News Pictorial is founded, predecessor of the Herald Sun of Melbourne.
Now, see, I want to bring something in a little bit of a teaser of what we're planning in here in the background. We are going to be doing shorts here at some point. Now, you
have to give a launch date once you have it.
Yeah. Now, we're going to be doing something like, we have multiple ideas, but one of them is what happened on this date, 100 years ago, what was like. So we have 1922. So on this date, if we were doing shorts, today, we would have 3 shorts. We have one about this, one about that, one about this one, Yeah. So, but yeah, that's just one of the various, ideas that we're brewing here, and it's coming here pretty soon. So just give you a little bit of a taste.
Well, I'll tell you one thing your show has taught me is to look closer at history. There's a lot to learn.
Exactly. That's why,
why do we need to learn it? So we don't do it again.
Exactly.
Or we do it better.
Exactly.
Emulate it, whatever the answer is, just know it.
You see, here's the thing, we all know the dictionary definition of insanity, doing the same thing twice and expecting a different result.
Yeah.
Well, you look at history, we are perpetually culturally insane.
Yeah.
We really are.
On
a global level.
We'll do it with a different twist, but it's the same thing.
It's the same thing, we're not individually insane, but as a genome, we are, we belong in a padded room, we really do. It's crazy. 1923, the last 1923 here. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, hold on, last 1923?
Yeah, I was looking at that. That was, while I was talking, trying to fill in airtime, looking for more articles, and that looks interesting.
Z1 biggest active dirigible flies over New York's tallest skyscraper, Woolworth Tower.
Wait a second. So that was the tallest building then?
In New York, yeah.
In 1923?
I'll return. I gotta get the bathroom.
All right.
So when was the Empire State Building built?
I think Empire State. Let's see here. Let me look at that actually. When was the Empire? March 17th, 1930.
Okay, so it came after that.
So this is 1923.
Yeah.
And then ZR1,
Woolworth Tower.
the Woolworth Tower. So ZR1, Woolworth Tower. Here we go. Let's see if I can find a picture of it. It doesn't appear that I can.
What's the Zeppelin coming up?
This is the dirigible. This is the ZR1.
Oh.
This was the largest. It said here the the biggest active dirigible. Okay. So the biggest dirigible that had ever flown.
Oh, okay.
So, I believe. I don't know. Well, that looks pretty big to me.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah, ZR1. So it's a classification because this is specifically the USS Shenandoah.
Okay. Okay.
So
ZR1. Okay.
ZR1. Yeah. Well, they're all saying Shenandoah. So I think the ZR1 is the Shenandoah, but it's a classification. You know, kind of like how there's the Idaho class warship, the Utah class warship.
Yeah.
So, but then you can be a Utah class, but be the SS Mississippi or something.
Okay.
So it's the same thing with airships. It's an airship. So
yeah,
it's another ship. So anyway, let's see here. Moving on up, I'm just going to take the highlighted ones here. 1927, Yankees slugger Babe Ruth hit his 50th home run during his Major League Baseball record 60 home run season in New York. 6-2 loss to St. Louis Browns at Yankee Stadium.
50 of 60.
Yep. 1928, Ty Cobb, last hitting appearance, popped out against Yankees.
Same day.
Interesting. No, 1920. No,
same day, different
year. Yeah, 1 year later. Man, every time I see that picture, it's like, man, the uniforms are so different. Can you imagine playing baseball today, with all the heat and that up on your neck? Ugh.
And wool.
Oh no.
Yeah, scratchy wool.
Then let's see here. 1931, Salvador Maranzano was murdered by one of Charles Luciano's hitmen, a New York City gangster. He got hit.
Yep.
Charles Lucky Luciano.
Not so lucky.
No. Or I guess
he's a renowned gangster, Lucky Luciano.
Huh.
I don't know where I know him from, but I know the name.
Oh, now we know how he ended.
Yeah.
So, 1940, Nazi Germany began Operation Sea-Lo, or Sea Lion, which was the aborted invasion of England. So they were trying.
Yeah.
So
it didn't work.
Yeah, it was they were trying to bombard them with the Battle of Britain and all that stuff, demoralize them. But
yeah. Is that when they were launching stuff at them, and just when it ran out of gas, it would drop? Is that?
No, the V2s would come later.
They did. Okay.
Like they continuously did everything they could. Even when they had this is why they developed so much into rocketry, because then they could launch straight out of Germany and still hit them.
Right.
So, but at first they were launching V1s, which that the V2, the missiles.
Right.
But V1 rocket was more like an aircraft that actually launched off of a platform.
Yeah,
right here, you can see it here on the launching platform. It actually launched off a platform, like a barrel, like a gun, and pointed right towards.
But even that couldn't have been that early in the war.
Actually, that was because of that technology. This was part of maybe later the Battle of Britain. Hold on a second.
Well, I'm not sure when they started militarizing jet engines, but it wasn't right in 1940.
That's a rocket engine, not a jet. It's not an aircraft, it's a bomb. That whole thing is a bomb. It's a rocket-powered bomb.
But it's jet-propelled. That's what I'm getting at, right?
No, it's not a jet. It's a rocket.
I understand.
The difference between a jet and a rocket is a jet is sucking in air, compressing it for propulsion.
Right.
A rocket utilizes fuel and it doesn't suck in air. It makes its own air within and just has a flame.
Okay.
So no.
Okay. Okay. I got you.
Let's see here. Yeah, I can't really read this that well, but no, a jet.
I see. Yeah, I got what you're saying.
Yeah, difference.
Yeah.
But no, this was just a rocket, and because of the technology, I'm trying to figure out though when it was. When? Let's see here. First launched V1s against London on June 13th in 1944.
Yeah, so it was quite a bit later.
So, yeah.
As far as the war went.
One week after. Okay, so June 6, 1944 is when we landed. So this is 7 days later.
We started launching rockets.
Yeah, because they were gonna lose those land. Yeah. So they were just like unloading.
Yeah.
So.
You do this, we do that.
Yep. Anyway, moving on up into 1941, Charles, actually, did we miss? No, we didn't. We talked about that. 1941, Charles Lindbergh claimed the British, Jewish, and Roosevelt administration are trying to get us into World War II. There we go. What I was talking about, his Nazism.
Yeah.
The British, Jewish, and Roosevelt administration are trying to get us into the Second World War. Okay, two of those are political. One of those is, some would say, is a race, but some would argue against that. It is a sect of people. So why is he rolling in a sect of people in with political stuff? That's bigoted right there. So, yeah. And he was a literal Nazi, you know, here. Let me look it up here really quick.
Well, why would he want us to get into the war if he's a Nazi?
He's a Nazi sympathizer.
No, I know, but
yeah.
You're saying the opposite on that article.
Well, no, I'm saying like he's rolling the Jewish ones in because he doesn't want to get into war. He doesn't want, like, nobody wants to get into the war.
Read it again.
He claimed that the British, Jewish, and Roosevelt administration are trying to get the U.S. into World War II.
I misread it.
They're trying to get them.
Yeah. Okay. I'm with you now.
Yeah.
I misinterpreted what you were saying.
Yeah.
I already had a.
I like how you said all that, but it was wrong. It wasn't the British or the Jewish or the Roosevelt administration that got us into the war. It was the Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was us really who like, you know, because now we were well within our right, you know, to boycott them and to do the oil embargo and all that stuff on them because they were, you know, being very aggressive and, you know, like the other nations around them, like they needed some backup. So.
And England very much obviously wanted us in the war. You know, they wanted us, so yeah, big time.
Yeah, and then on top of that, like, you know, the U.S., one of their allies, France, had interests, Vietnam, in an area that was very contested by the Japanese. So, you know, we were going to go to war with them eventually, you know, just because of that. But then again, you know, what's France doing in Indochina anyway?
But Japanese did slam dunk us, put us in front and center. Absolutely.
Yeah, but that was because of our oil embargo. There was
of course, I understand
even a cornered mouse fights back, you know, and that was their, you know. And they tried to really hit us hard, but then that.
Unfortunately, that's the way. Unfortunately, Japan's history of sucker punching you.
Yeah.
To get, you know, and that's what they did to us, and that's what made it.
Well,
really bad.
That also sparks like the whole controversy about, like, you know, whether or not we knew exactly what they were doing, because lo and behold, when they came to screw up our entire fleet, none of our aircraft carriers were there, and those changed the war.
Yeah.
So what a coincidence. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. That's a little weird, you know?
I agree with that. We don't know.
Anyway, so end 1941 as well.
1941 as well. 1941, the construction of the Pentagon begins in Arlington County, Virginia, completed January 15, 1943, designed by architect George Bernstrom, and built by contractor John McShane.
Well, that's
construction
cool,
was overseen by Leslie Groves.
Interesting. So this is when they first started building the Pentagon.
Yeah.
We've been there.
Yeah, we have.
And it was really crazy to get off the bus or whatever it is that we took to get there.
We took the train underground subway.
Yeah.
And we came up the elevator and saw daylight.
Yeah.
Who was waiting for us?
A bunch of people with Uzis and shit.
Yeah. And giving us a pass. Say, you can see we were tourists.
Yeah.
And they pointed out that we wanted to see where the plane hit and all that, and they were really helpful, but they were there.
Yeah. You know, you come up the escalator and there's guys with these, you know, semi-automatic things that'll tear you in half like a paper, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, they obviously know that they can read tourists and who's out there for business.
Yeah. Anyway, we have another 1941 here.
Yeah, 1941. FDR orders U.S. Navy that any access ship found in America waters be shot down on sight.
Dang.
Roosevelt.
Yeah. Well, I can't argue against it. Like I don't really know much about him and everything. You hate him for his reasons, you know.
Socialist. Put this country backwards for a lot of years to come.
Yep.
Policies he got done.
Dang. You have one more, right, Sohan? I think you do.
Do.
Yeah, you do.
1942, Indian Blyton published five on a treasure island. One of her famous 5 children's novels. Start off one of the best-selling children's series ever, with over 1 million sold.
Dang. Let's see here. I'm just going to take the next highlighted one. 1945, Hideki Tojo, Japanese Prime Minister during most of the Second World War, attempted suicide rather than face war crimes tribunal, but failed. Later, he was hanged. Good. You know, what a coward. You know, you want to sit there and talk about honor, you know, and then you're like, oh, I dishonored, I killed myself. No, that's the most dishonorable thing you can do.
Well, that's their culture.
But, you know, be a man. You know, face the repercussions of your actions, you bloody terrorist, you know? Seriously.
But to their culture, that was being a man. You failed, you die.
Yep. There we go. Let's see, moving on up. Oh, well, this is interesting. 1946, the first mobile long-distance car-to-car telephone conversation. Wow.
1946?
Holy crap! That sounds like
what?
That sounds like, you know, in the deep government or something. You know, it has to be something like
first mobile. Okay,
mobile long
right.
distance.
Yeah.
Car to car.
Holy cow! That's really wild.
It has to be using like radio or something. You know.
Radio wave, something like
something
that.
like that.
CB?
What? Oh, CB? Maybe.
Could have been.
Maybe. But this is telephone. But you can just hook up a telephone to a CB radio. You know.
Yeah. We don't know what kind of waves they're using, so
yeah. That's wild. 1946.
Yeah. Wasn't going off satellites, I'll tell you that.
No. And then just 4 years later, we have in 1950 we have the first typesetting machine to dispense with metal type exhibited. Huh. Okay, so like metal plates, instead of like clay or whatever it is that you use, whatnot. And in 1951, Florence Chadwick became the first woman to swim the English Channel from England to France. It took 16 hours and 19 minutes. Whoa.
I remember back in the day, swimming the English Channel was a big, big deal.
Yeah, I remember as a young kid, it was still, me as a kid, I still remember, there was still vestiges of that, and then it died off really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. And then 1951 as well, Igor Stravinsky's opera The Rake's Progress with Libretto by W.H. Auden and Chester Kallman premiered at the Teatro La Fenice in Venice, Italy. Mr. Sohan, what happened 1 year after that?
1952, West German Chancellor Konrad Adenauer signs a reparation pact for the Jewish people.
Reparations.
Yep. I mean, they did suffer a lot. West German, so there we go. The German doing their part, for what their country did.
Did we ever do anything with the Japanese when we encamped them? World War II. Did we give them any reparations?
Did the U.S. give Japanese citizens reparations? The Civil Liberties Act of 1988 gave surviving Japanese American reparations and a formal apology by President Reagan for their incarceration during World War II.
He said we did.
But it took like 40 years.
Yeah, I get that.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Dang. Before we continue, I'm going to do the split here real quick before we get too long in the nose with this first part. So here we go. All right, Mr. Sohan, do continue, please.
Yep. Let's see.
1955.
Oh, it's tennis, so I'm gonna skip tennis.
Oh, okay.
1955, Juan Manuel Fangio in a Mercedes wins season-ending Italian Grand Prix at Monza to take his third Formula One World Drivers' Championship by 17 points from Englishman Sterling Moss.
Alright. And you have a baseball one here, it looks like.
Yep, 1956 Cincinnati Reds outfielder Frank Robinson ties rookie record with his 38th home run.
Nice, 38 home runs as a rookie. That's really good.
Yeah, he's a great one.
Then, yeah, go for it.
1956 New York Yankees Yogi Berra ties career record for home runs, 236 by a catcher.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Of course, we've talked many times about yogi-isms. They're cool.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they are.
Go for it.
1959, composer and band leader Duke Ellington won NAACP's Spingarn Medal for his musical achievements.
Yeah.
All right.
Great jazz.
Now, see, like, that's a national advancement of American colored peoples or something.
Yep.
Or National Administration of American Colored Peoples. Why are they still calling themselves colored?
Well, it's just in their title. It's
I know, but like, why can't
they?
they change, like everybody else? Like Dunkin' Donuts changed their name to Dunkin'. Why can't they get
Bring it up
with
at
the
their
times?
next meeting. See if they'll change.
I don't think I'm allowed to go in. So, I don't kind of fit the bill. So, anyway, moving on up into 1964, Beatles guitarist George Harrison formed Morn York Limited Music Publishing Company. What a name, Morn York? Huh.
Damn that Yoko.
Wrong one.
Huh.
Wrong Beatle.
Well, I see there's an interesting one in 65 here, the last 65, if you want that one.
1965, the 1st Cavalry Division of the United States Army arrived in Vietnam.
Yep. I believe Cavalry Division is like tanks and everything now,
Yeah.
So it's a tank division. Yeah. Then you have another good one here.
1966, France performs nuclear tests in Morale Atoll.
I was looking at the highlighted one, but that is an interesting one, nuclear test. Yeah.
Oh, okay. 1966, Rolling Stones' 4th appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show formed 3 songs include Painted Black.
1967. My turn, right? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Carol Burnett Show, starring Carol Burnett, premiered on CBS TV in the U.S. All right.
There's your hat.
Yeah. Oh, hey. Good old Charles de Gaulle. 1967, French President Charles de Gaulle visited Poland. Wow. So, 67.
Yeah,
So.
that was a big deal because that was an Eastern Bloc country.
Ooh, yeah, that's right. They were part of the Soviets at the time.
Yeah.
So, dang. Man, the political tension,
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah. Then we have 1971 U.S. Open Women's Tennis, Forest Hills, New York. In an all-United States final, Billie Jean King defeated doubles partner Rosemary Casals 6-4, 7-6. So that's her own partner, for their doubles match. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, someone has a coup d'etat here.
What year?
1973.
Okay, 1973, Chilean President Salvador Allende, first elected Marxist president of South America country, is deposed in a military coup led by General Augusto Pinochet.
Yeah. So, wow, good. So, yeah, they did something right. That's good. Chile. Yeah, remember you were talking about if anything's happened in Chile, right? That was you the other day.
Don't think so.
Because we've talked about Puerto Rico, we've talked about Ecuador, we talked about Cuba, Portugal. Portugal somewhere else. But I think somebody was talking. Maybe it was Scott.
Well, it wasn't me.
Okay.
But I love that the first elected Marxist.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Well, see, look what happened. He got in there, maybe legitimately elected Marxist. Was it legitimate? I don't know.
Well, it says it is.
1977 29th Emmy Awards. The Mary Tyler Moore Show. Carol O'Connor and B. Arthur win the Mary Tyler Moore Show accumulates a record 29 awards over a 7-season run.
Dang.
Wow.
Yeah, the Mary Tyler Moore Show. I've heard about that. Never seen it, but I've heard about it. And
Atari. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yep. Speaking of which, about old stuff, 1977, the Atari 2600, originally known as the Atari Video Computer System, or the Atari VCS, is released in North America, revolutionizing the video game industry. No, it almost killed the video game industry.
Well, no, that's E.T. the game did that
on the 2600.
Yeah, on the 2600. So, I mean, you can't blame the console for one game. You know, come on, dude.
But why did it almost kill the industry? I don't get it.
Well, no, because
complaining about it.
like E.T. the game, it was so ungodly bad.
Oh, okay.
That it just didn't sell. They had made
interest.
Well, no, they were trying to ride the coattails of E.T. the Extraterrestrial movie that just came out.
Yeah.
So they rushed to make a game.
Oh, okay.
To ride that popularity, and they rushed to make it, and then they assumed it was just going to sell like hotcakes so they made thousands and thousands and thousands of copies, and they only sold something like 0.1% or something. I don't know. It was a horrible thing, and
many copies are buried in the damn desert.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna get to that. There is a rumor, an urban legend, that at one day they took all the copies that weren't sold and just went out into Nevada and just buried it. And
I heard it was in a dump or something.
Yeah, well, like a landfill or something. Yeah. Well, somewhere 20 years ago, somewhere in 2006 or something, they found it.
Yeah. No, yeah. I've heard about that. I was going to ask you if that's the same game.
They did, yeah.
Excuse me, same game.
It is.
So that is, okay.
Yeah.
Just a dead game that they buried a bunch of...
Well, it was so god-awful. No instructions, horrible gameplay, glitches all over the place, and it had nothing to do with the story. There was no correlation. It was just...
Well, the people didn't put up with it. Good for them.
Yeah.
They tried it, and the word went out quick.
Yeah, I really wish people would be more like that today.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
But yeah, moving on up into 1977, we have U.S. Open men's tennis, Forest Hills, New York. Guillermo Vilas became the only Argentine to win the U.S. title, defeating Jimmy Connors 2-6, 6-3, 7-6, 6-0. Final time event played at Westside Tennis Club.
I remember that. I remember that match.
Yeah. In 1978, this should be highlighted, the last known person dies of smallpox. Medical photographer Janet Parker threw infection in a laboratory in Birmingham, England.
Jeez. How could they be the last known? We're still going.
That's the last known. Well, people are still getting it, but they're not dying from it.
Okay.
So, there's that. In 1983, we have U.S. Open men's tennis. U.S. Jimmy Connors retained his title, repeating previous year's win over Czech Ivan Lendl 6-3, 6-7, 7-5, 6-0.
I remember that one too.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah. And then 1985, Pete Rose of the Cincinnati Reds got his career hit 4,192 off Eric Show of San Diego Padres, eclipsing Ty Cobb's record.
Put him in the Hall of Fame, for crying out loud. I get what he did was bad. Put him in the Hall of Fame for his work.
Well, he's a gambling guy, right?
Yeah.
He surrendered it, just...
Nah, put him in there for his work in history needs to be in there.
Then just don't give him a plaque, but put him in there as an honorable mention, then I guess,
for recognizing for the work done in his lifetime.
Yeah, I can see, but at the same time, he did throw it all away. I mean, there does need to be consequences to actions.
I agree, and he's got plenty of consequences.
Yeah. Well, I can't argue against your stance.
Banned from baseball, banned from managing at the time, banned from all of baseball. Fine, keep him banned. But recognize his history of what he did. That's it. He makes no financial gain. Puts him in the record books where he belongs. And that's just me. I understand people say no.
I mean, I agree, too. That's why I say, let's compromise and just give him an honorable mention, how about the Hall of Honorable Mentions? We can have him start it, right there. He's the start of something new, that he's getting something cool right there. You know, you have the Hall of Fame, and then like then you have like a little shack, with like a handwritten sign, Hall of Honorable Mentions.
Well, I'll tell you how.
No.
I'll tell you what I'll give you to compromise. Wait till he dies, so he doesn't know that he actually got in.
Okay.
And then put him in.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And recognize him for his body of work for baseball. I'll go with that.
Okay. Yeah. So that way you can't flaunt that at least. Yeah. Whatever. Anyway, Mr. Soen, do you want to take 1986, the first one, actually, the one before the highlighted one? That looks really interesting.
1986, Dow Jones Industrial Average suffered biggest day one decline ever, plummeting 86.61 points to 1,792.89. That's a lot of.
Remember that specifically, that giant crash, huge crash.
Yeah, a huge crash.
237.57, so 237,570,000 shares traded.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, the biggest one-day decline, not day one, one-day decline.
Yeah.
So within 24 hours that happened.
Yeah.
That's insane. Yeah.
1986, Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak receives Israeli Prime Minister Shimon Peres.
That was that was huge too. Egyptian president meeting with an Israeli prime minister. Never been done before. They're total enemies. No negotiations, no nothing except. That was the mentality, and that was the first crack.
Yep.
1986, U.S. performs nuclear test at Nevada test site.
Yep. Another one. Well, the U.S. did what? 1,000 some odd tests? 1,200? Like, I'm not sure if I've shown you the nuclear test video. No.
I don't think so.
Every nuclear, not just test, but every nuclear explosion. So, there's two that are not tests that we know of.
Yeah.
But every nuclear explosion from 1945 until 1990, something like that. And
well, this is underground now.
Well, yeah. But
have I told you about your mom in Vegas?
Yeah, no, she saw the clouds. Like, she didn't go to there. But
No. They sat out on their porch and watched the big plume.
Well, yeah, they were on the porch, but they didn't actually go to the observation point. But you can still see it from miles away.
Yeah, they were well within visual distance.
Yeah.
Now, fortunately for them, the air currents went up into Utah, and there's a lot of cancer that happened up in the southern Utah.
Yeah, downwind. So, yeah, they were upwind.
Yeah.
So that's good. Uno mas, Mr. Sohan.
1987, the fourth MTV Music Video Awards, Peter Gabriel wins many times.
Peter Gabriel wins many times. Like,
what the fuck did he win so many times?
He's a rock vocalist, and here we go. Like, this brings up something else. Like, in the movie industry, everybody wants to be an actor, everybody wants to be a director, everybody wants to be a special effects, this, that, and the other. There's very few sound artists. Like, when you actually look, at these, at these awards, for movies, for TV shows, for stuff, more often than not, you're going to see the same name correspond with all these different projects all across the board, because look at Foley artists. Nobody even knows what a Foley artist is. That's somebody who takes, who finds out, two coconut halves make, horse clews. Like, they're like, there's actually a really interesting video, like the sounds people make with things. It's just, it's crazy, how they figure these things out.
Yeah.
Now
they do it all electronically.
Yeah.
They're still figuring it out.
Yeah. Now they're like electronic Foley artists and everything, but not everybody wants to get into those positions, because those don't have the glory, those don't have the pay, but
they make good money.
They still make good money, but you're not making, Brad Pitt money.
Oh, well, of course not. Nobody is, except the stars and maybe the producers.
Exactly, and that's why everybody wants to be in the movie. Everybody wants to be, like in one of the more glorious, aspects of it, the director, the producer, cinematographer, all the main credits, and everything. But like when you get down to like the lower credits, music done by yada yada, like, he's a rock vocalist, he wins many times. The proof right there. Yeah. Because there's no
Trust
really
me, if you're
competition.
good in that industry, whatever it is, sound, editing, whatever it is, you're making $300,000 to $500,000 a year. Easy.
Oh yeah, you're still making good money, but
if
it's
you're
not
good.
Yeah. But you're still not, getting the big bucks.
No, of course not. You're not getting $20 million a movie.
I mean, what I'm saying is, like, if you're getting into the industry for the money, then you're not doing something because that's something for the passion.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway, 1988 U.S. Open men's tennis, Mats Wilander of Sweden won his only U.S. title in 7th and final Grand Slam event, defeating Ivan Lendl 6-4, 4-6, 6-3, 5-7, 6-4 in the longest final in the event's history. Dang. I wonder if that was the 11-hour some odd one. Because there was one that went for like 11 some odd hours.
Well,
or
this
something
is
crazy.
in U.S. Open history,
Yeah.
so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I was searching for longest tennis match, period. So longest game of tennis, period. 11 hours and 5 minutes. Wimbledon.
Okay.
So also the longest match in tennis history. So this is longest match, period. No matter where you look, ever.
Well, now they've changed the rules without
Yeah.
going into the whole thing, so they can't have that long of a match anymore.
Yeah. Moving on up into 1993, U.S. Open women's tennis, Steffi Graf won her 15th Grand Slam singles title, third U.S. title, defeating Helena Sukova 6-3, 6-3.
Yeah,
So she's consistent.
Yeah.
So. 1994, 46 Emmy Awards, Frazier, Pickett, Fences, and Kelsey Grammer won. Frazier, yeah.
Yeah, I watched Fraser.
Yeah.
I watched it.
That's the one talking about tossed salad and scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's just skip this tennis one because I know Sohen's going to skip it and it's his turn, so I'm just going to scroll to 1998 here.
Here we go.
Sohen?
In 1990. What's 90? Because there's 94.
Oh, okay.
95.
We're at 98, I think.
Well, I scrolled down to 98. I'm not seeing anything.
Unless you want
Well,
something else.
95 is
1995.
somewhat interesting, but
1995, Eastern Tennessee begins using the new area code 423.
which reminds me, the other day we reported on when the area code 562 was introduced in the greater LA area.
Oh, yeah, I remember all those.
Yeah.
Everything in LA was 213,
Yeah.
wherever you lived.
Mm-hmm.
Orange County may have had their own because I wasn't in Orange County, but all of LA.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how many do they have? They probably have 5 different ones.
Yeah. But that's interesting because, 562, I know a 562 number.
Sure.
Yeah.
So do I.
Yeah. I just found that, personal, it's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Also, 1996, Union Pacific Railroad purchased Southern Pacific Railroad.
Ah. Yep, here we go.
Oh, okay.
Things getting bigger.
Yep.
The amoebas eating each other. So.
And 1997, after a nationwide referendum, Scotland votes to establish a devolved parliament within the United Kingdom.
That's intriguing. Okay, well, yeah. So Scotland, is it Scotland or Ireland? It's Ireland that's under the UK control, right? Or is that Scotland? Scotland.
Yeah. I think it's Scotland.
Scotland.
Yeah.
But so who's? But Ireland had all the troubles. The Irish Republican Army. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Map
And they were fighting the English
of
to
the
be independent.
UK. Let me see here. Hold on a second. Map of the UK. Ireland. Okay, so Ireland is independent. Scotland is under English control.
Yeah.
Do you
So-
want fried egg sandwich?
They wanted. They were setting up their own, their smaller parliaments within. Where was it? We were just looking at 1997. Yeah. A devolved parliament, so like a smaller parliament within the United Kingdom. So they're still trying to have their own self-governance, but they're still
Acting like a state in,
Yeah.
in a country.
Yeah.
Like we do.
Scotland really is one of the first countries England conquered. So, if not the
Probably
first.
something, anyway.
Yeah.
Because you can't say that because England was conquered so many times.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as when England started becoming an actual conqueror themselves.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway, Mr. Sohen, I hope you got the sandwich that what's her face was talking about.
Yeah.
Good.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't get a sandwich?
Didn't get it.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Anyway, why don't you tell us what happened in 1998? But before you do, welcome to the show, Scott. How are you today?
Good. Sorry, I just got home from lunch.
That's all right.
Welcome. How are you doing?
Yeah, how's your dad?
Good. How are you?
Good.
He's good. We had some good time, talked about some stuff. It's been a good visit, just at home or chilling
It's
out.
always good to hook up with your old man.
Yeah.
At least that's what I tell this guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't buy it, but that's what I keep trying to tell him.
Well, I'm still here.
I know.
1998, independent consul Ken Starr sends a report to the U.S. Congressman accusing Bill Clinton of the possible 11 peaceable offenses.
Dang.
I'm surprised this man can end up on a one-man rope swing.
Yeah.
Rope trick.
Lawyer who investigated Bill Clinton. Yeah, well, he got off by the skin of his teeth because this was before this was before Hillary, started getting, aggressive.
Well, he did get impeached.
Murderous.
He didn't get
Before he became
convicted.
a murderous psychopath.
Well, he got impeached because of the whole Monica Lewinsky thing.
Yeah.
This was 11 other possible impeachable offenses.
Yeah.
Maybe including that. I'm not sure.
Oh, it does.
So-
Trust me, it does. Ken
Okay.
Starr
Get
did the
some
whole
weed
thing.
too. Like
Okay.
I smoked it, I puffed it, but I didn't inhale.
Yeah. And I was only 11, so obviously I don't know much about. This is politics. 11-year-olds shouldn't care about politics.
Oh, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
Went
Oh,
on
yeah.
Forever.
Yeah. Anyway, Scots, if you want, there's a 99 here that's highlighted. Although that is tennis, so you can skip that if you want.
Of course, it's some tennis. That's funny.
Then 2000, no, that's interesting.
Sure. 2000 activists protest against the World Economic Forum meeting in Melbourne, Australia.
Yeah, that's essentially before the Occupy Wall Street movement. That's, I think
Yeah.
the first, at least, in principle and in ideology, like.
What was the year of Occupy Wall Street? Do you know?
I mean, look, let's see here.
Off topic, but now that you brought it up, I don't remember.
When was Occupy Wall Street? Occupy Wall Street. Let's see here. September of 2011.
Okay.
So, wow,
way before.
11 years ago, on September. So,
Yeah.
yeah, they were forced out of Zuccotti Park on November 15th, 2011. Occupy Wall Street. I'm going to add this into the underbar as well here. But yeah, like, isn't it a little funny, how after all that happened, all of a sudden now all of society is for, big pharma and big this and all the banks and all that stuff, how the mainstream is doing that,
Yeah.
Like they really flipped it on its head. People really have got to realize what's really going on. So, and oh my God, here we go, 2001.
Yeah, I was glad I made it for the one that's coming up.
And you got
All
it.
right.
You got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Go
You want
for
me
it.
to
Your
read it now?
turn.
Yeah.
The passenger planes
Yeah.
in Twin Towers?
Yeah,
Okay.
2001. Yeah.
Here we go. 2001. 2 passenger planes hijacked by Al Qaeda. Terrorists crashed into New York's World Trade Towers, causing the collapse of both and deaths of 2,606 people, and probably more that they didn't find.
Yeah. And another
Yeah.
4,000 today have died from contamination as they were breathing all that stuff for months
Yeah, and it's
on
even
end.
years and years later, they were finding debris and right in cracks of between buildings and stuff, way years after.
Jeez, yeah. I like the guy they chose for that picture. That was the guy in the plane that went into the field, and his famous line was "Let's roll" when they attacked the cockpit.
Yeah. Well, Scott actually skipped ahead a little bit because it looks like this might be in a little bit of chronological order because 2001 starts here. An attempt by passengers and crew of United Airlines Flight 93 to retake control of their hijacked plane from terrorists causes plane to crash in Pennsylvania Field,
Yeah.
killing all 64 people on board. So that's why
Yeah.
they have this guy
Yeah.
for that, because
Yeah.
that's the Pennsylvania crash
Yeah.
one. Then we have the Twin Towers one here, but then
Yeah,
also...
oops, that's bad. Sorry. I skipped ahead, yeah.
That's okay, but
That's
also we have 2001 terrorists hijack a passenger plane and crash it into the Pentagon, causing the deaths of 125 people. So that's the Pentagon one, which is
And that's what we're
highly
talking about.
controversial.
That's what we were talking about earlier when we
Yeah.
saw the damage that they
Yeah.
patched up pretty much already.
Yeah, I actually had forgotten it's September 11th, so it's really, really interesting you brought that up, that we had saw that.
Yeah.
You could tell, where what section was new.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, like, to wrap up my third one here, on the same, September 11th, 2001, Jay-Z releases album Blueprint featuring contributions by Eminem and Kanye West. What a time to release something. Yeah. Yeah, Blueprint, though, yeah. But anyway, Mr. Soen, 2002, like, that's looks interesting there.
2002. Okay. 2002, through extreme and coordinated effort, the Pentagon is redecorated after repairs are complete, exactly 1 year after the attack on the building.
Yeah, rededicated. So they rededicated it as part of like some kind of
Oh,
ceremony.
shit. My battery died.
Oh no.
Hold on.
Okay. While we're waiting for Sohen, Scott, why don't you take a couple here? I'm just looking at these. It looks like 2005 is the only one of, I guess, any form of. I guess 2004 is interesting. People died, so there's that.
Sure.
Oh.
2004, all passengers are killed when a helicopter crashes in the Aegean Sea. Passengers include Patriarch Peter VII of Alexandria and 16 others, including journalists and bishops of the Greek Orthodox Church of Alexandria.
Dang. Yep. There's several things I will never get in or on. I'll never be on a motorcycle unless absolutely need be. I'll never be in a helicopter unless absolutely need be. And depending on where we're going in the ocean, dictates how big of a boat I'm going to be on. So I don't want to, be in a Jaws situation. So
what's the comedian that says if it doesn't have a buffet, it ain't seaworthy?
John Panette.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's who it is.
Yeah.
It ain't seaworthy.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's 2005 if you want that one.
Sure, 2005, Pride and Prejudice, the film adaptation of Jane Austen's novel of the same name, starring Keira Knightley and Elizabeth Bennet, is released.
Huh. Well, look at that. Look at the novelist, dude. Look how old that is. Holy
Yeah.
crap, man. Like,
Yeah.
Jane Austen. Let me see. Jane
she's
Austen.
a great one.
Wow, 1775 through 1817.
Yeah.
That's way back there.
I think she had to originally hide the fact that she was a woman, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe. Anyway, 2005, Solheim Cup of women's golf, Crooked Stick Golf Club. Okay, I guess the golf club is a crooked stick if you think about it. U.S. regains Cup 5.5 to 12.5. Meg Mellon clinched with 3-1 victory over Karen Stupples. That's an interesting name for a golf course, but it's highly descriptive and correct.
Golf course, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it is golf
course.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, golf club.
Yeah.
Golf course, golf club.
Yeah.
Country club, golf club.
Yeah. So
not just talking about the physical golf club, but a club for golfers.
Yes.
An organization.
Yes.
So is it golf course or golf club? Now I'm confused.
I don't know.
Because I know that CC is country club. It's not country course, but I don't know. I guess both are right. They might have clubs there. I don't know. Golf course, whatever. Anyway, 2005 U.S. Open men's tennis. Roger Federer retained title, defeating Andre Agassi 6-3, 2-6, 7-6, 6-1. Agassi's last appearance in a Grand Slam final. He kind of looks
two greats.
Yeah, he kind of looks like the guy from Hot Ones, Agassi. A little bit. I know you don't know what that is.
Andre
Agassi.
I can't say it.
Agassi?
No.
Agassi.
Thank you, Agassi.
Okay. That makes sense. 2010 is tennis if you want, Scott, or we can just skip that. 2012 looks people died. So.
Sure. 2012, 29 people are killed and 11 injured after a bus runs off a mountain highway in Nepal. Dang, a bus.
Man, that's not good.
Yeah.
That's got to be where those roads are really hectic.
Yep.
And they just are narrow or something. I couldn't say
Windy,
exactly.
blind corners.
Yeah, you
erosion.
see some of those footages on those mountain roads up there. You wonder, God, how does anybody survive? They're really narrow. Then you got oncoming cars too.
Yeah. I mean, like, have you seen what happened in Yosemite?
No.
How all the roads are washed out, like gone?
What?
Yeah, you didn't hear about that?
No.
Major flooding in Yosemite. Like, this was a couple weeks ago.
No, I didn't hear about it.
Let me bring this up here real quick for you. Major flooding in Yosemite. No, entire swaths.
Off topic, but what the heck?
No, like entire, like, you know, like
wow.
a section is gone, but like, no, that's not the worst of it. Look at this. The road is gone.
Yeah.
Like whatever they dug out, entire swaths, not just washed out and covered in debris. No, they're gone. They don't exist anymore.
Looks like the road going down into the canyon.
Yeah.
Probably from the north side.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, here's this. They completely took out this entire thing here.
Look at that. No, I didn't hear any of that.
Like, look at this. You know, here's the other angle. Look, the whole road is gone.
Jeez, yeah.
Like, they're gonna have to carve something out again.
Yeah.
You know.
You gotta rebuild the whole damn thing.
Yeah. But like, it's stranded so many people. I saw some guy with I think he was on a motorcycle, or no, he was in a I think it was Destination Adventure, actually. I'm not sure. But some guy was driving something through like, you know, like the northern area, and like he almost didn't make it out and all that stuff, and he almost was stranded, and he helped some others, and some others helped him, and there are some people on motorcycles like, don't do it, like they're not going to make it, like it was nuts.
Yeah, that's
absolutely
great.
nuts.
No,
I am surprised you did not know about that.
Yeah.
So
kind of off topic, but that's something. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, kind of on topic, you know, talking about dangerous roads and everything.
Yeah, true.
You know. Oh, here's an interesting one. Mr. Scott?
2015?
Yeah.
2015, The Martian, based on the novel by Andy Weir, directed by Ridley Scott and starring Matt Damon, premieres at the Toronto International Film
See that
Festival.
movie?
That's like when he went to try to colonize Mars or just live on Mars. You know,
I left behind.
That's when he was
And
stranded on Mars, and he was trying to grow potatoes and stuff on Martian soil.
Oh yeah, I remember something about that. I never saw it though.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. All I can say is Matt Damon. It's from Team America.
Yeah.
Like, Matt Damon's character, that's all he said was just Matt Damon, Matt Damon, Matt Damon. Like, they turned him into a Pokemon. It was hilarious. And then they were part of they're all part of like the Film Actors Guild, which what does that abbreviate to? Don't say it, but just think about it. Film Actors Guild.
I don't know.
What is it?
I'm not connecting.
Film. What does it start with?
Okay, I got it.
Okay. Anyway, Mr. Sohan, your turn. If you want film and TV history 2015. Sohan. Sohan.
Go for it.
All right. I guess I'll take it here. Sofia Vergara, Modern Family, and Kaylee Kuko Sweeting, The Big Bang Theory, were named highest earning TV actresses, $28.5 million by Forbes. So I guess that's combined. And yeah. So is that Amy?
Yes.
The Big Bang Theory.
No.
Wait,
That's Penny.
That's
Penny.
Penny. That's right.
Penny, okay.
She's the hot girlfriend.
Well, they all are hot, you know.
Oh,
Not Amy.
Oh wait, no, Amy's Sheldon's one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, don't see, that's rude. You know, she's hot in her own way. You know, maybe not physically, but I mean,
I don't think they wanted to portray her as hot. Let's put it that way.
Her personality's probably hot.
So now the producers of the show are doing some sexisms.
Of course.
Oh God. Here we
How
go.
do you think they cast? You think, oh, we want to be all inclusive? No, we want hot, we want nerdy, we want this and that, and we want all the guys to be knuckleheads, dweebies.
Yeah. Well,
Keep watching.
In all fairness, you know, all guys really are a bunch of knucklehead, dweeb, you know, imbecile, bumbling idiots, right? You know, like I certainly am, you know, and I take after the one who raised me, you know, so.
Eye candy always sells.
Yeah, that's true. Mr. Sohan.
Sohan, let's go.
17, Hurricane Irma leaves 7 million U.S. homes without power in Florida and Georgia.
Yep, this is when it was hitting Mike.
Yeah, I guess it kept going after, because we read about this yesterday too. So.
Yeah, well, like we've been reading about it for the past week. You know, it actually formed like a week ago, and then you know, it made landfall yesterday, back in 2017. You know. I think.
Wow, if you look at that picture, look at that wind shear. That is just insane.
Yeah, and that's something.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yep. You look at the smaller one off to the side. We've got a whole other one going on.
Yeah. Hey,
probably didn't hit landfall is why we don't know about it.
It had a baby.
Yeah, 2017, 1
Hurricane
million.
Jose. Says on the right,
Okay.
that was Hurricane Jose
No.
to the right.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. 2017, 1 million marched on this state's National Day in Barcelona in support of independence for Catalonia.
Catalonia, yeah. All right, so that's for the independence of Catalonia. That's cool.
Yep. And also,
Oh my god.
2017, UN imposes new export sanctions on North Korea.
Good. So sanctions on what they can even like export out.
Yeah.
You know.
Only thing they export is pain and misery.
Yeah, and nuclear threats. So.
Yep. And 2018, Fear Trump in the White House by Bob Woodward. It's published by Simon and Schultz.
You know.
The guy, him and his partner exposed Watergate.
Hmm. So they're trying to utilize that against another Republican.
Maybe.
Granted, Nixon was a piece of crap, dude. Stupid what he did. Stupid. So.
Yeah.
I mean.
Nothing compared to some of the stuff they do today, though.
Yeah. Well.
I mean, they tapped a future president of the United States in his election, and while he was in, they wiretapped.
You know.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is. Well, I'm more talking about what the sitting president, which I'm talking about, is now Nixon.
Yeah.
What he did.
What he did was horrific.
Yeah. Anyway, what else happened in 2018? Sohan? Hello? Okay, well, 2018, the film The Green Book, directed by Peter Farrell and starring Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali, premiered at the Toronto Film Festival, later received the Academy Award Best Picture 2019. Sohan back yet?
Yeah, I'm back,
Okay,
but I
there
already
you
did
are.
my 3.
What? Oh, you did your 3? Okay. Then I will continue. 2018 as well. Former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan lied in state at Accra, Ghana, ahead of a state funeral. So UN General Secretary or Secretary General.
Oh, okay.
All right. And I guess he was born in Ghana. Let me just
yeah.
check. Yeah, Ghanaian. Okay. That's really cool. In 2021, just last year, 20th anniversary of 9/11, marked by U.S. President Joe Biden and former Presidents Barack Obama and Bill Clinton in New York.
I kind of like the 2019 one. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
Roll it back.
Roll it back. Well, that was my 3, so why don't you take it?
All right, I was just gonna mention 2019, one of the highlighted one.
Oh, yes.
Water detected for the first time on planet outside our solar system on exoplanet K2-18b, 110 light years away, in findings published in Nature Astronomy.
That's cool.
No, I never heard of that.
That's the first time. That took a while.
Yeah, the first time they found water, or water was detected, 110 light years away. So at least 110 years ago, it existed back then.
Yeah.
So, which isn't that far off. That's really close.
Yeah,
So-
110 light years is not far.
Yeah.
When we talk millions of light years.
Yeah. So it's obviously like in our galaxy. So.
Yeah, out of our solar system.
Yeah,
It's got to be in our galaxy.
Yeah. So because the galaxy is what, like 50,000 light years across or something
I don't
crazy.
know.
Hold on a second. What is? Let me look this up here. Diameter of Milky Way, 105,700 light years. So
There you go.
I said, what was I said? 50, 500,000 or something?
I don't know.
100 some odd thousand. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah, that's within our galaxy. That's cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so looks like that's pretty much the end, unless you did the last 2021.
Well, you can take 2018. That's kind of frightening.
The suicide bomber?
Well, no, the Russia one.
Oh. Russia launches its largest military exercise since 1981, involving 300,000 personnel, with Chinese troops participating. Personnel. Sorry, yeah.
Good lord.
Yeah.
That's a frightening,
They're making a statement for something somewhere somehow.
Yeah, that was during Trump's presidency. So, yeesh.
Back off, dude.
They were still
That's
flexing.
what they're basically saying, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Preparing for something, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we move on into births and deaths, anybody watching, be it past, be it, well, it can't be past, but present and future, well, I guess it can be past if you have a time machine, I don't know. If you're watching, if there's any, articles that grabbed your attention more than most, start a dialogue in the comments section. We will chat with you, like, if there's anything, you want to know, if there's anything that you want us to know, like, questions, answers, whatever, just open a dialogue. Anyway, let's move into births here with Sohen, if he doesn't mind starting in the year 1182 here.
1182, Miyamoto no Yori. Japanese shogun born in Kamakura, Kanagawa Prefecture, Japan. Died 1204.
I'm going to bow out, guys. This is me, Cleaver, saying see you later.
All right. Did he getting to you?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You have a good
Bye-bye.
one, all right?
All right.
Stay cool.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
1681,
Oh my-
Johann Gottlieb Heine Curis, German jurist born in Eisenberg, Germany.
Ah.
That's my two.
Oh, I thought you were oohing because of the next highlighted one here, because we have one here that maybe this is what the candy bar is named after. We have 1862, O. Henry. William Sidney Porter was an American short story writer. Cabbages and Kings. My cabbages! Born in Greensboro, North Carolina, dying in 1910. What's his actual name? O. Henry. Full name, William Sidney Porter. So I don't know O. Henry.
That's right. It says it in parentheses. William Sidney Porter.
Yeah. No, but I'm wondering, like, what the O stands for, Or if it's just O, Henry, for the, O. Henry, like Oklahoma, I don't know. Anyway, we have D.H. Lawrence was born on this date in 1885. He was an English poet and writer. Lady Chatterley's lover, born in Eastwood, Nottinghamshire, dying in 1930. Moving on to Scott.
1916, Ed Sabol, American filmmaker, NFL films, born in Atlantic City, New Jersey, died in 2015.
Dang, that's not long ago. And wow, he
Nope.
lived in 99.
That is something.
Yeah. Next.
I was just thinking how if he was like born in 1899, he would be alive in like three separate decades or something.
1899, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was like almost 1800s, 1900s, and 2000s.
3 separate centuries.
Right, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Decade is 10 years. Century is 100. Millennium is 1,000.
Yeah, my bad. All
That's
right,
all right.
1917, Ferdinand Marcos, President of the Philippines from 1965 to 1986, born in Surat, Ilocos Norte, Philippines, died in 1989.
All right then. Ooh, Sohan, you get Hank Hill's favorite football coach.
Oh, in 1924, Tom Landry, American NFL player, New York Giants, and coach, Dallas Cowboys, born in Mission, Texas, died 2000.
I'll tell you what, that Tom Landry sure kicks some ass. I sell propane and propane accessories.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, Floppy.
1932, Bob Packwood, American attorney and a politician, U.S. Senator from Oregon, 1969 to 1995, born in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, I tried to start a new life in Portland. Didn't work out that well, but yeah. That's interesting. Packwood, that doesn't sound good. I can think of a few ways to make fun of that. But anyway, 1942, we have Tom Dreesen, is a U.S. comedian, Tim Reed's partner, born in Harvey, Illinois. And then who else was born on this date? Let's see here. Yada, yada, yada. We have Bashar al-Assad in 1965, current president of Syria, having served from 2000 until now, born in Damascus, Syria. So he's currently serving 22 years of presidency. That doesn't sound like a president to
Damn,
me.
22 years in presidency. Most people serve 22 years in prison.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
Mr. Scott.
1967, Harry Connick Jr., American pop and jazz singer and pianist, We Are in Love, When Harry Met Sally, actor, Will and Grace, and TV personality for American Idol in 2013. Born in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yep.
I know someone over in that neck of the woods, generalized area, place situation.
But this is not Labor Day weekend.
It's not Labor Day weekend.
I know it's
September
not.
11th.
I know it's not.
And I don't know
He
it.
keeps trying
I
to
don't
tell
see
me
it.
it is. That's it.
I don't see it.
Well, clearly it's wrong. It's not Labor Day weekend.
Contacts, Bubba. Oh shit, man. What did I do?
Thank you, Scott. 1982. It's not Labor Day weekend. I know, but it's telling me that. Well, clearly it's wrong.
Oh gosh, alright. 1982, Svetlana Shikhanovskaya, Belarusian human rights activist and politician who claimed victory in the disputed 2020 Belarusian presidential election, born in Mikashevich, Belarusian, SSR, Soviet Union. Jeez.
Yeah, Belarusian SSR. So
Okay.
Belarusian Soviet Socialist Republic. Soviet Union.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then moving on into deaths, I'm going to start us off here. So one appears to be preoccupied. 1161, we have Queen Milsiendine of Jerusalem, born in 1105. All right. And then we have, you know what, I'm just going to take this because of the challenge. 1185, we have Stephanos Hagiochristophoreites. That actually was not as bad as I thought it would be. Was a Byzantine courier at court of Byzantine Emperor Andronikos the First Komnenos, killed by Isaac II Angelos. Dang.
Sounds like his last name is a play on like multiple names, like, you know, Aphrodite or Crystal. It's like it's a mixture of names.
Sounds like the last name was the final sound he said before he got stabbed to death.
Huh.
Yeah.
Hagiochristophoreites.
In 1948, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, founder of Pakistan, who led an all-Indian Muslim League 1913 and 1947 until he achieved his dream of Pakistan and became its first governor general. 1947 to 1948, dies of tuberculosis at 71. Ooh, he died of
Dang.
black lung.
Yeah. Not good.
Oh no,
Wow.
not a good way to die. It's brutal.
Dude, both of these guys have like similar looking hats. Like Muhammad here, he has a bigger one, but this guy he has like it's a military.
Yep, 1956, Billy Bishop, Canadian First World War flying ace, dies at 62.
Dang.
I guess in World War One.
Yeah, First World War, World War One. You know. So, yeah, 1956. So
Hey, he
yeah,
was an ace.
yeah, Canadian's first World War flying ace. Or actually, you know what? Let me look at this. Canadian First World War flying ace. Let's see here. The top Canadian flying ace during World War I, Billy Bishop, is officially credited with 72 victories. He also flew during World War II. He was instrumental in establishing the British Commonwealth Air Training Plan. So he trained during the second one. So I don't know if he's Canada's first ace period or First World War ace or what. Like
That's the First World War ace. Probably many more.
Yeah. Anyway, whose turn is it? I don't remember.
I can do one more.
Okay, do one, and then I'll go, and then.
This was interesting.
All right.
Justin Morris, American actor, diagnosis unknown, dies at 69.
What year first, though? Like, you can't just read. I got it.
1970.
1970. Okay. All right. Oh, I see. Diagnosis unknown. Huh? What? Chester Morris. Let me look this up here. Let's see here. Why is this over there? Chester Morris. Open. Here we go. Death. Chester Morris, who created the role of Boston Blackie, was found dead of an overdose of barbiturates yesterday in his room at the Holiday Inn in New Hope, Pennsylvania. So that was on September 12, 1970. Newspaper article. So apparently an OD of barbiturates.
So I guess it wasn't unknown.
Well, maybe it's unknown because like they maybe have discovered it wasn't, but they don't have anything else to say otherwise. So maybe it's a cover up for a murder. I don't know. You know, like weird shit happens all the time.
That's true.
Moving on up into 1971, we have Nikita Khrushchev, a Soviet premier, died of a heart attack at 77. Nikita Khrushchev, yep. First secretary, interesting. We have Salvador Allende, died on this date in 1973. He was the president of Chile from 1970 through 73, and the first Marxist to become president of a Latin American country through an open election. He committed or suspected to have committed suicide by shooting himself during a military coup at 65. So, yeah, maybe he killed himself, maybe he didn't. Who knows? Mr. Scott, who did we lose in 94?
In 94, Jessica Tandy, British-American actress for Driving Miss Daisy, dies of cancer at 85.
Miss Daisy.
Miss Daisy.
I'm guessing.
And then, of course, you know, September 11th, 2001, we lost 2,000 some odd, 2,500 some odd people, you know. And then not to mention all the other more people later on down the line, you know, it's, I don't remember who it was who brought this up last night in conversation, but, like, all the people who died from, like, you know, the mesothelioma, because, you know, sure as shit, there was a lot of asbestos in those towers. You know, those were built way back in the day.
I don't know if you noticed, but they actually listed the terrorists' deaths in here.
Yeah, I see. Let's see. Yeah,
if
I
they're
see
not
here.
highlighted, 2001, they're run right after each other.
Yeah, I see. Well, there's Hani Hanjour here. Actually, let's not even read their names. Let's not even give them, you know, their. Yeah. Well, there's 2001.
Well, just say, how about this? One of them was 23 and one of them was 33.
Yeah.
One was 26.
Yeah. Well, there's one here, died at 53. Here's one at 31. You know, these are other victims.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah. Like, not the perpetuators, but the victims. Oh, man. Dude, 2001 here. Like, well, this is, there's a lot of ones here, but, if you see one, just say something. I'm just going to say one here. 2001, David Angle, a U.S. sitcom creator, Frasier. We were talking about Frasier earlier. Died aboard a plane in a terrorist attack on the World Trade Center at the age of 55. So one of the Frasier people died.
Yep.
Dang.
And I don't know if you know the story, but Seth MacFarlane was supposed to be on one of those planes.
I heard Jackie Chan was too, apparently.
He apparently just woke up late in the morning.
Oh, is that the story where he had a hangover and he just like canceled or decided to take the next one or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, here's something. 2001, John P. O'Neill, U.S. anti-terrorism expert and FBI agent, died as head of security in the terror attack on the World Trade Center at 49. That's a little suspicious right there. Somebody of that, you know, of that field being taken out in the very field he's working on. That's strange. So.
Well, it depends on where it happened. Was he like called in and then he just got killed by either the second plane or just debris or something, or was, because it doesn't say he was like on the plane, but.
I don't know.
Because it's anti-terrorism, so once there's a terrorism threat, he probably came into action and then something happened.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure.
I'm speculating, but
yeah, I have no idea. There's so many here. Here's a FDNY Fire Department, New York. You know, this guy here, Michael Fudge, or Judge. Sorry, I'm sorry. Mike Judge. What? Mike Judge. Oh no. I'm sorry.
I like Michael Fudge better, but yeah, okay.
I totally fudged the judge. That sounds really disgusting. God.
Oh gosh.
Like, what happened? Oh, I fudged the judge and I got 12 years for contempt. Anyway, well, Scott, why don't you take this 2001 here, Todd Beamer
Sure.
here.
Todd Beamer, American passenger and hero on United Airlines Flight 93, dies at 32 in a plane crash trying to stop the 9/11 terrorists.
I salute to you, hero. You know, true bravery. You know, like it really boggles my mind. Like, you know, when you're like, you know, you don't know what's going to happen, true, but like at the same time, if you're just sitting there and you're letting people with a bunch of box cutters take over the plane, why? You know, like, go at them. Yeah, you're going to get cut. Yeah, you probably might get like really hurt and you might even die. But would you rather die saving a whole plane or just sit back and let the whole plane go? You know, like, stand up and do what's right. Have some balls, you know? And that guy had balls bigger than the Death Star, I tell you what. You know, he's the type of person I aspire to be. You know, when the shit hits the fan, I, you know, like a troop, like a trained person, like, I want to act and be the first one to be there doing something about it. You know? So, but that's just me. Anyway, Mr. Sohan, 2002.
2002, John Ioannidis, American football player, dies of a heart attack at 69.
Dang. And then let's speed it up a little bit. You know, let's just try to knock this out in a couple minutes here.
2002, Joachim Fest, German historian and journalist, Hitler biography, Spear, The Final Verdict, dies at 79.
Dang. Where are you reading that?
Right under the Johnny United one.
Kim Hunter?
Oh, 2006.
Oh, 6. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. My bad.
No.
My brain thought you said 2002, so I was just like, wait, where are you reading? So.
He did. I thought he. Wait. Never mind. No.
Okay. So it wasn't just me. So maybe he did.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. Anyway, 2019, T-Bone Pickens was a U.S. Business tycoon, or was a U.S. business person and oil tycoon. Shamrock Mesa Petroleum Company, known as the Oracle of Oil, died at 91. Dang, that was just last year. Or no, 2 years ago. Anyway, that concludes the show. Once again, check the underbar, the description, for any links you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things OMNI Coalition, which itself includes
ON TV on Twitch.
Yep. For your dose of House Events Daily, we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific Time.
1 p.m. Eastern Time. Sorry, Sohan, go ahead.
Off Central.
Yep. For all of you and all of us, I am Mayo Xander.
I'm Scott.
Sohan.
And you are you. And until you catch us tomorrow, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Let's go, Brandon. Toodles. Whatever. I don't know. I totally fudged that judge right there. God.
You took a drubbing.
I took a drubbing.
Word from yesterday.
That sounds like getting hit over the head with a trash can. Like, you know, drubbing somebody with a large, you know, thing.
Yeah.
A bucket. I don't know.